So this article here, it looks like it's kind of long, but it mentions what makes Thailand interesting, what makes Thailand so different, that it attracts most of the tourists in the world. From last I heard, it was like 40 million a year they used to have pre-pandemic. I don't know if it went up now, but 40 million is a lot considering their population is like about 65 or so million. So photos you would only see in Thailand. There is only one thing that truly makes Thailand what it is, and that is the people. Without them, all of the incredible customs and culture would be lost forever. Thanks to these people, these incredible pictures were able to be taken, exhibiting some of the most typical Thai experiences many travelers have gone through while visiting. And here is a bag here, plastic bag with a drink, lady being massaged. If you ever go to Thailand, you will quickly come to realize that motorcycles are everywhere. Probably not like Vietnam though. Vietnam is way more motorcycles. Practically everybody is driving one, and it can seem as though some people live on their motorcycles as they spend so much time on them. So here is a guy here, right there, on his motorcycle, sleeping. Not willing to leave his bike on its own, this tired man thought he would grab a quick snooze while somehow balancing on his bike. Little do we know that just minutes later this man fell off his motorcycle, losing all of the style points that he had won for so casually sleeping on his bike. At least he chose to sleep on his motorcycle while it was stationary. Fried young Kate. We really hope that young Kate is alright. We can't imagine being stir fried is a pleasant experience. Hopefully, nobody ordered the fried young Kate, meaning she gets to live for another day. If we were forced to order the fried young Kate, we reckon we'll go for the dish that comes with chicken. And here it is, stir-fried young Kate, 80 bahts. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Chicken goes with pretty much anything, so the same is probably true for stir-fried Kate. Fingers crossed. This is just a case of a mistranslation and not the menu for the Carnival Cafe in Bangkok. We are curious to know what they mean by the term young Kate, though hopefully no children were harmed in the making of this dish. And they talk about tire trash. Where's the music coming from? There has never really seemed to be an obvious way to recycle used tires. In The Simpsons, they just throw all their used tires into a great big bonfire, but Thailand has found a better solution than simply burning them. There's one right here. I guess you could put some planks in there. They have found a way to recycle used tires into trash cans, and they can be found on the side of the road. Not only have they made the main can from tires, but even the legs, stand, and handles are recycled from old tires. Splashing cups. The cups in Thailand appear to have a pretty good sense of humor. Once a year, a water throwing festival takes place in the city of Phuket. While many people throw water at each other, a brave soul turns Let's see. These people are annoying. Quit calling me. Hello? Yeah, speaking.
Hi, I'm Jellyfish calling from Capital Global, the staffing agency.
Okay.
This call is about your job opportunity. Are you currently looking for any job?
Alright, what kind of job is this?
The job role is about LPN SNF role.
LPN and what?
Yeah, LPN SNF role.
SNF, you said?
Can I send you the job description to your email?
Yeah, send it and I'll check it out, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, alright, I'll check it out. Alright, thanks. Okay, so let me read this again. Splashing cups. The cups in Thailand appear to have a pretty good sense of humor. Once a year, a water throwing festival takes place in the city of Phuket. Okay, so that's Songkran, Songkran, which is the Thai New Year. And I think it goes on for like maybe 3 days or a few days when people... That's the one time, because Thailand is a conservative country, but that's the one time that people forget the conservatives, and many foreigners love to go there because of that. Because they put their guard down. And like you see, they splash the policeman. Normally you won't be able to do that at any other time of the year. While many people throw water at each other, a few brave souls turn their attentions to the police officers on duty. And here it is right there. Somebody splashing the policeman with water, right? Try that any other day, you'll be in serious trouble. The cops are happy to play along and replace their regular weapons with water pistols, helping everybody in the city to cool down thanks to a refreshing splash of water. Sleeping dogs. There are wild dogs all over the place in Thailand. I'm not sure if I will use the term wild dogs. These are domesticated dogs. However, nobody owns them, or at least people probably had them and just let them loose. And much like most of the dogs, they like to sleep as much as possible. If you are driving around, particularly at night, you are likely to come across a dog just lying in the middle of the road. And here's one right here, a dog sleeping. Doesn't he know he can get run over? While you might fear the worst and expect to see a dead dog as you approach the sleeping pooch, it will likely just raise its head to look at you before going back to sleep, forcing you to drive around it. So it's easy, it's okay to swim. Learning language can be tricky. And they're talking about this sign here. Not dangerous to swim in this area. But if you look at the area there, there's no water here. Hopefully anybody who does swim in this water is pretty careful and don't get into trouble. Let's see. The worrying thing about this sign is that people might actually have gone into this restaurant and asked for those things. They said, don't serve dog, cat, rat, worm. Well, in Vietnam, some restaurants do serve dogs. Yeah, because I remember one tour I was on, the man, he asked us, anybody wants to join him later for dog, dog meat. We can go to a restaurant. He knows where to sell dog. But nobody put their hand up. Now they're having to convince their customers that they don't serve those animals. Or maybe people have been bringing in their pet dogs, cats, or worms and expecting them to get fed too. Umbrella cycle. See here? These people, how they riding on an umbrella on the motorcycle with an umbrella. How's that gonna work? In the rain. Instead of wearing a raincoat. right? No standing on the toilet. And there's a sign here. People actually do that, I guess, right? Maybe the fear the toilet seat is dirty. See? Jellyfish washing. Right? So jellyfish are known for carrying a sting from their tentacles. Instead of getting it out of the water when the jellyfish are around, these people are deliberately swimming with them. It is their job to clean the jellyfish for sale to the markets. Okay. They essentially take a bunch of colanders and go fishing for them in this big tank. Hopefully they don't get stung too while working. That's the only cure for a jellyfish sting, is to urinate on it, unless that's the liquid they're sitting in already. Let's see here. What's this? Abstain from alcohol, glass containers, foam, guitar, and pets into the waterfall. That's kind of awkward English, right? I guess what they're trying to say is don't throw those things into the waterfall. Family bikes. Look how many people on one bike. And here, no helmet, you know. Here I am. That's serious trouble if you don't have a helmet, especially in kids. It's probably the difference. This here, they got those fish. You see? This spa has converted a famous Thai mode of transfer, the tuk-tuk, into something else. They have fish, they're fish that bite your toes. See, as we can't imagine being paraded around in a city while tiny little fish nibble at your feet. Not so happy families. There's something sinister about the menu translations from Thailand. Either some restaurateurs struggle to grasp the language they're translating to, or they really are cooking people. See, happy family in hot casserole. I always wondered about that, you know. In Thailand you see some rather strange signs in English. Instead of like going to like a university, let's say, you know, and find a Thai person who can speak English, yeah, just call the department, the language department, and say, look, you know, I have a job for somebody, and that person can write you something in English that makes sense. But instead, they seem to do their own writing themselves, which is very common in Thailand, and then it comes out really awkward. Okay, so here it is about the fine. No ticket will be eaten, or $2,000 bad fine. So this is kind of awkward, right? If you have no ticket, or be eaten. If you can't stump up the money to pay the fine, then they reserve the right to eat you, and you can't even argue against it. They did warn you. It's right there on the sign. Obviously, it means something else. Most places offer you a cup to drink your chilled beverage from, but in Thailand, some places will provide you with a vinyl bag instead. While on the face of it, drinking from a bag seems like a good idea, we can think of one problem, right? Where are you meant to put your drink when you're tired of holding it? This is where you will have to turn to find a friend and ask them to carry your bags for help. We hope there's a restroom where that sign is directing people to go. It is unusual for a restroom sign to be so upfront about what it expects from the people visiting it. But this sign is getting straight to the point. It says, urinate this way, please. It even has the courtesy of being super polite about it afterward. It grabs your attention with the toilet functions, and then out of politeness remembers its good manners to make sure you aren't offended. Bamboo scaffolding. Much of the scaffolding in the Western world is metal, but in Thailand they use a material that is much easier to find. Bamboo scaffold has been used for centuries and is often used for construction in Thailand. The great thing about using bamboo scaffolding is that there are no screws required, but are tied together using string. That means the co-workers who use it are putting their lives in the hands of the people who tie the knots. Alright, this is so blind. The sign says, be blind. Whatever that means. We're warning for drivers to look out for blind people. Has been hilariously mistranslated. Instead of saying look out for blind people, it says be blind. Full moon party. If you have been to Thailand, you've probably heard of full moon parties. Yeah. I think it's Koh Samui, I believe, which take place before and after every full moon. The first full moon party was actually 30 years ago on the island of Koh Phangan. Strange things happen there at those parties. During these parties, it's accustomed to use glow-in-the-dark body paint and party until the break of dawn. Since then, parties like this have spread all over the world, but they definitely know how to use it in Thailand, and we think this proves it. Hello, good afternoon. Hello? Yeah, speaking. Go ahead. Mistake? These people are stupid or what? Call me by mistake. Okay, so let's see. During these parties, it is accustomed to use glow in the dark body paint and party until the break of dawn. Since then, parties like this have spread all over the world, but they definitely know how to do it best in Thailand. And I saw a documentary where they actually have like morgues there, because for some reason people end up dying at these parties, and they have to like bring in extra ice boxes or what have you to put bodies. That's how wild they get. Cooking with goggles. Thai food is known to be one of the most delicious kinds of food in the world, and they certainly take it to the extreme when they make it. The woman in this picture is actually a Michelin star chef, and when she's cooking up some of her Michelin-worthy dishes in her restaurant, she does it with woks on open flames. There she is, wearing the goggles. Wow. She has to wear protective goggles whenever she cooks, just to protect those eyes from the flame. Also, they use a lot of spice too, spicy stuff, so maybe she probably needs like a filter, for the nose, because you can start to sneeze a lot with some of the stuff they use in Thailand. This place is sending us mixed signals. On one hand, there's a sign that says close. That would be fine if it weren't for the more permanent looking sign that says we never close. Right here, closed, and we never closed. Yeah. No, thank you. Really, we are not interested. We are not sure whether this sign is a lost in translation kind of situation. There's something really gross inside these pastries. It says Thai rats. Ugh, Thai rats. We know they eat all kinds of strange foods in Thailand, and we are adventurous enough to try new things every once in a while. But rats is pretty much where we draw the line when it comes to unusual things to eat. And we don't care if it's Thai rats or American ones. Dancing models in the U.S. models are often brought into shows and expos in order to draw in the crowd and make them curious about the product. But in Thailand, these models don't settle for just standing there and looking beautiful. So here we have, I guess this is a car show, right? Alpine. And these ladies are actually dancing. These models were actually photographed dancing away, quite enthusiastically too, to attract attention to the products they were advertising. And to be honest, we think it's pretty genius because they showed some serious dancing skill and people couldn't get enough. So there it is right there, Alpine. Driving mobile media in Avalon. Interesting. Let's see. He's got the power. In such a big country, it's pretty reasonable that you would have so many power lines to provide electricity to all the homes and businesses. All these power lines are bound to create a mess. So working as an electrician in Thailand is probably a nightmare, but we're not sure this guy's way of work is very safe. Yeah, look at all those wires right there. Haha. Alright, amazing. And he's standing in those wires. It seems that he's actually standing barefoot on these power lines, which are also high up in the air, with nothing to protect him from falling or being electrocuted. Now you see why we have OSHA in the United States. OSHA, Occupational Safety, the Administration, Occupational Safety and Hazard Administration. Okay. Hello, good afternoon. Yeah. No, I didn't have time to check it because I'm busy trying to finish up something here. I'll check it later, okay? Alright. They let you know in advance that you should sit down and shut up. No talking here, no yelling at your kids here, and no laughing at your dad jokes here. Just sit down and drink your coffee. Quietly, please. Which one is that? This one right here. Sit down and shut up cafe. Sit down and shut up cafe. Wow. My goodness. It's very important to have traffic signs and directions when you drive through a road. How else will you know where you need to stop, where you can't enter, or where you can't make a turn? Look at that. Right there. Look at these signs. Don't do any of those, I guess, right? No right turn here, no left turn here. I guess you gotta go straight. These traffic signs found in Thailand are especially helpful. If you're trying to figure out where to go, just don't go right. W-R-I-T-E. Don't turn to the left. And basically, don't go anywhere else. Just get out and leave your vehicle there. The Songkran, that's the one we mentioned before. It's a national holiday in Thailand, marking the Thai New Year, and apparently it's a custom to have water bottles in the middle of the street in honor of their special day. So there's a lady here with a water gun, or two. Yeah, she has two. One here in the right, one in the left hand here, and one in the right hand here. And she's shooting and smiling. So, if you happen to be in Thailand during this holiday, you might just come across people with water blasters shooting water at each other playfully. Sounds like a lot of fun and definitely a great way to cool off during a hot Thailand day. Don't sleep. Every time we go to the gym, we are overcome with this overwhelming desire to just fall asleep. We thought it was just us, but apparently in Thailand it's a common sentiment. This gym owner, for example, decided to put up a sign and ask people not to sleep on the equipment and said, "Please do not sleep." Who would think people would do that, right? Be sleeping. Seems like a legitimate thing to ask of people. You are at the gym after all, not at home on your couch. Watching Netflix and chilling. Just a snake. Look how these little kids are playing with a snake. Incredible. Parents don't seem concerned. They're just standing there and snapping pictures of their adorable kids touching a dangerous animal. We don't see this happening anytime soon in the US, that's for sure. Elephant massage. One of the best things a person can do when going on a vacation is get a massage. What's more relaxing than having your worries fade away in a relaxing spa? But in Thailand, you can get a massage that's a little more extreme than your regular one. Right there. See the elephant? And this lady being massaged by an elephant. Ah. Being massaged by an elephant seems kind of scary. It weighs a few tons and could probably crush you under its weight, but this girl is having a blast having her back massaged by an elephant. So who are we to say? Kickboxing. See kickboxing right there? Look how high she raises up in the air. Wow. Amazing. Yeah. So that's a sport in kickboxing. Muay Thai, kickboxing. You can see this incredible skilled woman pretty much dominating this battle against a robust looking man. We wouldn't want to go against her, that's for sure. Washing dishes. If you have ever complained about washing your dishes at home or having to load the dishwasher, consider these women in Thailand who wash dishes in water bowls outside in the heat. On another note, this makes us question whether we would ever eat at a restaurant in Thailand having seen how the dishes are washed. That doesn't seem like a very sanitary way to do it. But perhaps that's just us. These ladies definitely don't seem concerned about that. One day in Thailand. The sun in Thailand can be pretty fierce sometimes. Some things many travelers become aware of when they get there. The British couple didn't realize that the sun in Thailand has a much stronger effect than those sunny days in the UK. Wow, they sure burnt. Look at that. Welcome. They probably should have packed on the sunscreen before going to the beach, but they didn't. And this was the very painful result after just one day in Thailand. This serves as a valuable lesson. Yeah, well, I guess England is not really that hot, except for just like, well, maybe like a couple weeks ago. They reached like 40 Celsius or something, or maybe like 104 degrees Fahrenheit. But that's very unusual for them. But that was just the heat, humidity. That's not really the sun. Okay, but now they know. You take sunscreen. We weren't going to. Judging by the pictures, Thai people are sometimes up to the strangest things. We can't think of anyone we know that will wash their feet in the toilet, so this seems like a weird request. But then again, we are not Thai. It says, don't wash your feet in the toilet. The bigger question that we have regarding this sign is not why the owners of this place care whether people wash their feet in the toilet or not. That's probably the worst thing you can do with a toilet. When you don't have a truck, the people of Thailand are very resourceful. There's no question about that. Take this person, for example, who didn't have a truck at hand. They came up with the most original solution. Just load everything on the back of a regular van. Look at that. Look how huge this is. And this is a regular pickup truck. And everything is in there. Isn't that crazy? So what if it can barely hold the weight of the cargo? As long as you get from point A to point B with everything intact, it's all good when you're in Thailand. Meditation. Where else in the world but Thailand could you find this going on? This monk is showcasing just how powerful meditation can be by doing it while sitting inside a giant pot. A giant pot with burning fire underneath. There he's sitting right there, and there's fire below him. Yeah, fire. And he's meditating. He doesn't seem to mind the water is boiling at all, which is really quite impressive if you ask us. We think this man is amazing, and we think the people standing around him and taking pictures of the show would agree. A refreshment. Monkeys are everywhere in Thailand. The streets, the jungles, and the beaches. And when the temperatures get as high as they do in Thailand, they have to do something to cool down as well, right? So there's a monkey drinking Coke right there on the beach. Yes. Take this monkey, for example, who's just chilling on the beach and drinking a refreshing beverage on a hot day. The monkey sure gets it. There's nothing like a nice cold soda to help you fight off the heat. Okay, fine. This sign was placed inside a zoo, warning visitors not to succumb to their urges and eat the delicious looking animals. But seriously, we're pretty sure no one was intended on eating the animals anyway, and we sure hope that we are right about this one. The sign said, don't eat the animals. I think they mean don't feed the animals, but they put don't eat. It actually makes us wonder whether there was ever a case of a visitor eating an animal that prompted this sign to be put up. And again, we are really hoping for the contrary. See? Okay, so this shows photos that shows what it's really like to live in Russia. So that's it, and the photos are the strange, and I'm sure there are a number or more photos with weird stuff that goes on in Thailand.